I don't really know where this reading's gonna go. There's a sense of anxiousness, like waiting for a decision, just kind of a general anticipation energy. And I don't know what to make of it. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath together. And I just ask that we're grounded, present, and open to receive messages. So what wants to come out? High Priestess reverse and Nine of Swords. I'm gonna just take them regular. That kind of does fit with like knowing something's going on, something's happening, and instead of like it being more of a relief, it feels like I am thinking too much, ruminating, seeing all these different angles, all these different paths, and not really having a clear choice. Let's see what the bottom of the deck is. Two of Wands reverse. So that kind of, we could see Two of Wands as like a sense of waiting, right? And not really knowing the timing of something. And so with it reverse, it feels like it's imminent. It feels like this is like, it's going to happen any second. It's kind of like driving, when you drive and you notice people are driving different during a day and you have some close calls and you see like kind of a theme of things coming up around you. I feel like this is that similar theme. You're like, all right, I've seen, the sign that I asked for this many times already. It's happening. And so I think a part of this, let's see, what is it that let's clarify the Nine of Swords. Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands reverse, and Four of Cups, bottom of the deck, in reverse. So the Nine of Swords, I feel like it's this anxious energy that like you don't know if you're going to be able to hold it together once you're approached with this situation that you're kind of done with. This was reverse, the Four of Cups, and so it's like I feel emotionally cut off from this situation, but it's like almost that like if you were faced with it, that like you're not exactly sure how you would react. And so that anxiousness is like, well, I mean, like anything could happen. It could happen any day, anytime, multiple times, whatever it is. And so that's just to clarify. Let's go ahead and try to get a handle on it then. How do we handle this energy, this unexpected energy? Saw the Hermit in there, kind of poking out. I think it's kind of like if you're needing to take, time for you to internalize and process things, take whatever means necessary to get yourself out of a situation, even if it's just for a few minutes for clarity. Taking a deep breath. It's like even the breath that I started at the beginning of this reading, it felt like very like slow. I'm just going to keep drawing it in. I'm just going to keep blowing it out. And like if you got to sit there for a few minutes and do that, a few breaths, please do that, because there's so much difference a breath can make in any kind of moment, especially one that feels heated and charged and intense emotionally. So, how to help with this energy. Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's almost like kind of feeling like you have, trust the words that and the timing of everything, that you'll know what to say, do, speak, how to present yourself. 10 of Cups, there's nothing to worry about. It's just working with the energy. It's how you can reframe that energy in your mind for you to have more of a grip and emotional control. I would say that the biggest theme of all of this is emotional control. When we're intuitive and tapped into the world around us and we're sensing things and we're seeing people, we have this perception and intuition about people that we got in our lives from whatever walk that we've been through before, right? But sometimes it's more because we come from a traumatized past and we've had to be hyper vigilant about these things. And so that hypervigilance can sometimes continue and carry over into situations that are safe. And sometimes they're not safe, right? But it's like all about that discernment for you to understand that what you're feeling is okay to feel. Don't try to reject it. Don't try to stuff it down. Just let it move through its cycle. The queen of wands, swords, can hold her place and knows when not to speak, knows when and what to say, when to say it, because she can be very giving. But this is more about receiving that energy in the feminine aspects, right? The queen aspects, and just taking it in, letting it move through you, and waiting for the right time for it to come out. And whether that's like in a creative process or in meditation or in breath work, you know, it's like, how can I expel this energy now that I've moved through it? Because I don't think it's necessarily that you're having conversations. You might be having conversations, but those conversations that you would be having are slow, deliberate, patient sort of kind of conversations. So let's go ahead and get a closeout for this. Knight of Cups, Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, bottom of the deck. What an interesting reading. Because there's like emotional momentum forward and emotional control, and it almost feels like, well, I'm gonna move forward no matter what. I am going to, like, it doesn't matter if the fear is loud. The fear is my motivation. It's how we reframe things again, right? Excitement. And sometimes that's what it takes, is like lying to ourselves, manipulation. And I'm not saying it like do it in a toxic sense, right? But we can manipulate ourselves into doing things to train ourselves to, you know, it's like the things that we have to tell ourselves to justify what we want. And like, again, like this is a very interesting, you know, kind of nuanced conversation to have, because, you know, you want to be honest, you don't want to bypass things, right? But just to keep it simple, you know, it's like, it's having to look at the big picture, the long picture, the strategy of things, right? With the Seven of Swords, and see like, okay, like I don't want to wake up and, you know, go for a walk every day for this amount of time. But I know that if I do this and I implement this pattern, despite not wanting to do it, the fear, the anxiety, maybe you have social anxiety and you can't even leave the house. So the idea of taking a walk is like so freaking hard for you to even grasp, right? Like everybody's at a different place doing different things, and some things that can seem simple for others is difficult for us. And so you talk yourself into going for this walk because it's good for your health, it's good for your mental health, it's good for your body. You know, it's getting yourself outside of a place to renew the energy. And that's really what it's about, is like, what are you needing? How are you needing to pump yourself up, to motivate yourself? I think this Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords can be a tricky combo, because the mind is so quick and we can quickly get ourselves into patterns and energies that can be detrimental or toxic. But it's also using the same sort of strategy to get us into places that are healthy and meaningful, and to push us through those boundaries of, you know, this is only going to be 5 minutes. This is only, you know, it's like you're getting up on stage and you're nervous as all can be, and you just allow yourself to go there. You push yourself. It's that threshold. This is the threshold. And that's why I think there's so much anticipation, because like, it's like you're getting all these little tests and signs and seeing these things that are very affirming to you and to your path. And looking at this now, you're like, it's like you're gonna go bungee jumping, you're cliff diving, you know, you're rock climbing, you're getting that adrenaline, those different hormones and emotions are being activated in you right now. And so remember your breath, remember to breathe, and just keep moving forward. Do not stay stagnant in this energy, because it's asking you to move, and it's asking you to move into places that you were scared to go to before. But scared not because it's scary, but because it's what you want. All right? Much love.